Money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. Brewster's Millions, 1985. This is a real nostalgia watch for me. I haven't seen this in a long time, but I did enjoy it in the 80s when it came out as a young Fred. Uh, we have Richard Pryor plays Montgomery Brewster, and he's a baseball player in the minor leagues. He's not doing too well. He's financially, but he has a distant relative called Rupert Horn, who leaves him 30 million in his will. But there's a snag. He has to spend the 30 million in a month and not tell anyone. That if he spends all the money and has nothing to show for it, he will inherit 300 million. So he can't tell his friends about this. And yeah, wish I had a problem like that. So that's the concept of this movie. He has to spend this 30 million and not have anything to show for it. But if he does that, he gets the big prize, the 300 million. This is directed by Walter Hill, and it's based on a book by George Barr McCutcheon. So it's a remake from a 1945 movie, which I haven't seen. And yeah, as I said, directed by Walter Hill. You may have heard of him. He's a director that has directed Hard Times or Street Fighter, The Driver, The Warriors, The Long Riders, Southern Comfort, 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, Streets of Fire, Crossroads, Extreme Prejudice, Red Heat, and yeah, he's he doesn't his movies are usually more sort of masculine, more manly, and this is a comedy for him. My first time doing a comedy, I suppose. Although 48 Hours was a comedy, and yeah, does a fine job here. And I think with this movie, for me, the concept is better than the actual story. It seems to fizzle out as we get to close to the end of the movie. And yeah, I suppose watching this when I was younger, I enjoyed the concept of it. That sort of wish fulfillment. That imagine having this problem of trying to spend 30 million and not have anything to show, not have anything to show for it at the end of the month. Richard Pryor is fine as Montgomery Brewster, and you may have seen him, great comedian. You may have seen him in Car Wash, Silver Streak, The Wiz, Stir Crazy, Superman 3, The Toy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Harlem Nights. Yeah, and he's fine in this. But I think I'd like to see the original, just to see. I feel like it would probably, the setting back in the 40s, or might have suited the story of this a bit better. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing the original. And a friend of Montgomery's is Spike Nolan, played by John Candy, another great comedian. You may have seen him in 1941, Blues Brothers, Stripes, Splash, Spaceballs, Little Shop of Horrors, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, Home Alone, Nothing But Trouble, JFK, Only the Lonely, Cool Runnings. Yeah, he's great in this. And he plays the friend of Montgomery that just doesn't know what to make of him as he's spending all this money and throwing it away. And so we're in on the secret, but his friends around him aren't. And they like Spike, for example, wants him to be careful with his money and invest it, and and not waste it. But he doesn't. He's not in on the reason why Monty is spending all his money like this. And yeah, so he's a good friend of Monty, and he's looking out for him. We also have, yeah, Rupert Horn, the guy that distant relative that gets Monty into all this trouble. You may have seen him in, Rupert Horn was in Cocoon, Batteries Not Included, Shadow of a Doubt. And oh yeah, keep an eye for Rick Moranis. He plays Morty King, and an early role for him. He's a blink and you'll miss him, but keep an eye out for him. And this was not as good as I remember, but still, I think it was fun to revisit it again. And I think I'd give this a 3 out of 5. As I said, concept is better than the overall story. This fizzles out second half or near the end, but still nice to revisit it again. And another thing about this, we have 2 producers, uber producers on this, Lawrence Gordon and Joel Silver, and they brought us, Lawrence Gordon, for example, has brought us the Predator movies, Watchmen, Hellboy movies, Die Hard 1 and 2, Waterworld, 48 Hours. So obviously a connection with Walter Hill, the director. The Driver, The Warriors, Event Horizon. And Joel Silver has brought us the Matrix movies, Lethal Weapon, Predator movies, Roadhouse, Commando, Action Jackson, Weird Science, 48 Hours, Streets of Fire, Demolition Man, Last Boy Scout, The Warriors. So connection between all of them here. And what can I say? It's worth checking out. For nostalgia, maybe, if you've seen it a long time ago, you wanted to see, is it as good as you remember? But yeah, bit of a disappointment for me watching it again. But Brewster's Millions, Fred MacGuffin's review. Brewster's Millions.